Ken, you're going with Cam tonight. Just maybe talk about the progress you've seen in practice from Cam and what you kind of hope to expect from him tonight.
I didn't know much about him. I just think he's good and Koski's good. They compete like heck at practice, and to me, Cam reminds me a lot of Brian Elliott. He's just such a competitive guy, and he never quits on any puck, and that's what you like. And he's a battler, and I know he hasn't seen much action, but man, if it wasn't for him in LA early, we would have been in real trouble. And so I like a lot of the things he does, quite frankly.
You get any special kick out of coaching against or beating a team that you coached for a long time?
Uh Not really. I think people misunderstand that. Like what happened in Dallas last year, I was so proud of because we just improved so much. And what's gone on, what went on here for 6 years, there's a lot of players still left over from when I was here in St. Louis. I'm proud of that too because we built something pretty special, and you're proud of that. I mean, you want to get the 2 points, but it's a stranger feeling for me as a coach because there's a real emotional connection to probably 7 or 8 players here with St. Louis where we're very close. And, so that probably is the most confusing part to me because of the respect that both sides have for each other.
Without Petro, their defense, because he played him so many minutes when you were coaching, their defense isn't quite the same, obviously, when he's not there.
Well, he's a minute muncher. He's a very unique player that the less rest he has, the better he plays. And he stays engaged. If he's coming out every second shift, playing both ends of special teams, he's a better player. So he's one of those guys who could play close to 30 minutes and not miss a beat. So they're going to have to absorb that throughout the lineup. Offensively, Bortuzzo plays a similar game. Like Bortuzzo's a jumper like Petro is, and Peryanko's got great speed. He's got almost sprinter speed. So from that side of the ice, that we've got to be aware that there's going to be a guy coming every shift. And but to me, Petro is a special guy. Like there's very few players that can absorb those minutes, and his ability to get back on task so quickly is very unique.
And Parayko, should he have more offense than he shows?
Well, for me, Colton's offense comes from his acting and behaving like a forward. He's a green light special. Where when he plays like a forward, that's where a lot of his offense comes from. So some guys, it comes from the blue line where they work laterally and they see angles, whereas to me, not surprising, Colton's goal in Colorado is not surprising. That's what a unique player he is. But it's a lot going forward rather than laterally. And he's very much an attack player. And when he's on that attack, he's dangerous because he's got quick feet and a quick stick for such a big man.
Are you as surprised as the people in St. Louis are that the Blues find themselves dead last place right now at this point in the season?
I am not surprised by the NHL. It's a one-goal league, and when you're on the wrong side of the one goal, you're close, but something happens. And I think you get into seasons like that. You can play awful well. I've watched them play quite a bit. They've played awful well in some games and not got big leads where they deserve it, or they've lost one-goal games, or they've lost late. And that can become mentally taxing on you. But they're very deep organization talent-wise. Their players are deep, and their prospects are deeper. And, they're in a tough spot like we are a little bit, but there's so much depth there that you know that they're going to, once the depth matures, they're going to pull out of it in a big way. And so I don't really feel sorry for them because we got to kind of stay above them too if we're going to make a playoff spot here. But I can see it happening in the league. You can play really well and still be on the wrong side of the one goal.
How do you get more goals from your wingers?
Yeah,
Got a lot of wingers with
yeah,
2 goals.
yeah. I think we got to continue to trust that if we just keep doing the things we're doing, which have improved a lot in the offensive zone, I think it has to do with continuity. I think we got to become more automatic. Like what we practiced yesterday was more automatics. And I think when we get less thinking and more automatics in our game, we're going to be in better shape. But what we're doing right now, I really like. We've got a philosophy of 2 at the net, not 1. We're really playing for second and third shots. But in the meantime, when you're waiting for guys to maybe chip in, you gotta still get points. So for me, until the last game, until we got the second goal scored on us, I thought we played a hell of a hockey game, as well as we can play. And you got to just believe over time that guys are going to chip in eventually. But we are trying to get to be more automatic in the O-zone, where the reads are a little bit quicker and more automatic, less thinking.
Ken, based on yesterday's practice, it looks like Jujhar Carroll will slot with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Jesse Puljujarvi. Just speak about what you like in Kara's game and what you expect out of that line tonight.
When he plays like he did in the last 2 games, I like a lot of his game. He plays north with tempo. He's got reach. He's got range. He's got size. He's got toughness. He's got everything you like. But he's got to play with real tempo going north. When he plays sideways, he lets other people's quickness take place. And to me, he's a guy that could really turn into a good winger for me, because of his ability to. He can get up and running right away. And I liked a lot of his game. And he's been asked to change his ways. I didn't like what I saw in his game at the start, but I sure like a lot of it now, to be honest with you.
And will the lineup remain mostly the same from Dallas with Connor and Ryan Spooner both drawn in?
Yeah, they draw in. Kajula has a little bit of a hand injury, and he's going to need a day off, so he's not going to play today. And then Patrick Russell's going to play, who we obviously like a lot.